Welcome to this explainer. A lot of people think of math as just this rigid collection of abstract rules that you happily leave behind the second you graduate. But today, we're actually going to demystify everyday mathematics and show you how it's an incredibly practical, super powerful toolkit for your daily life. Let's get right into it.
Here is our roadmap for today. We're going to cover the power of practical math, unlocking our data, finding the mean, mastering the median, identifying the mode, and finally, building your math confidence.
Starting off with Section 1, the power of practical math and its broad applications.
Ah, yes. When will I ever actually use this? It's literally the classic question. Almost everyone asks this at some point. And honestly, it completely makes sense. Math often feels like just abstract numbers floating on a page, rather than a real, tangible tool. But math really isn't just about solving for X. It's about solving for life. Because as it turns out, algebraic and geometric principles are absolutely fundamental to everyday tasks. Think about personal financial management, balancing your budget or figuring out mortgage rates, or understanding spatial measurements, like using geometry to figure out if that massive new couch is actually going to fit through your front door. And most importantly for us today, it gives us the framework for the effective collection and interpretation of information.
Which brings us to Section 2, unlocking our data with measures of tendency.
We are living in an information age, which means we're swimming in data every single day. From health apps tracking our every step to the insane amount of stats in our favorite sports broadcasts. But having all that raw data, it just isn't enough. We desperately need a way to summarize it, cut through the noise, and find the typical story it's trying to tell us. And to do that, we use something called measures of central tendency. Now, I know that sounds super academic, but it's really just a fancy umbrella term for tools that help us find the average or typical value in a set of numbers. It's about finding the heartbeat of your data. Take a look at this sample data set. We've got 5 really simple data points: 2, 3, 5, 5, and 8. We're going to use these exact numbers as our testing ground today to see how each central tendency tool looks at the very same data and tells a slightly different story.
Let's dive into Section 3, finding the mean, otherwise known as the average.
The mean is what most people are actually talking about when they use the word average. It's a quick 2-step process. Step 1, you just add all the numbers up. Step 2, you divide that total by the count of numbers you have. It levels everything out perfectly. So you'd use this specific tool when you really want to know your overall performance over a period of time. A great example? Calculating your average score on math quizzes over a whole semester. All your high scores and your low scores are smoothed out to give you one single number that represents how you did overall. Moving right along to Section 4, mastering the median to find the middle ground. Now, the median operates totally differently. Imagine taking our data set and actually organizing the numbers in a neat row from smallest to largest. Then you just point directly to the number sitting right there in the exact physical center. In our set, 2, 3, 5, 5, 8, the number 5 is our median.
So why use the median instead of the mean? Well, it's the absolute best tool when you want the true middle ground, especially if extremely high or low numbers might skew your perspective. Like finding the middle value of all your friends' heights. If one of your friends happens to be a 7-foot-tall pro basketball player, a traditional mean average would make everyone seem way taller than they actually are. But the median? It just points to the person standing exactly in the middle. No skewing whatsoever.
Next up, Section 5, identifying the mode, which is all about what is most popular. Finding the mode requires zero heavy calculation. To find it, you simply group identical numbers together and identify the most frequent one. Basically, whichever number builds the tallest stack is your winner. In our data set, the number 5 appears twice, while all the others only show up once. Boom, 5 is our mode. And this comparison brilliantly illustrates exactly why we have different tools for different jobs. Finding an abstract, smoothed-out metric like an average math quiz score totally requires the mean. But imagine you are managing a shoe store. If you calculated the mean of your customers' shoe sizes, you'd get something ridiculous like size 8.37. Good luck ordering that. A shoe store absolutely needs the mode. They need to know the most common, actual shoe size to stock up on. Finally, Section 6, building your math confidence, because practice really does make perfect. Confidence in math doesn't come from just staring at a textbook. It comes from action. It's about grounding concepts in real-world examples, like those shoe sizes we just talked about. It's utilizing interactive teaching methods and engaging in adaptive practice where you get immediate feedback. By repeating exercises, you truly build mastery. That's how you turn math anxiety into math mastery. I absolutely love this quote from our source material. Mathematical proficiency is key to empowering individuals to make informed decisions and solve common problems. It hits the nail on the head. Math isn't just some subject you have to endure. It's the foundation of effective problem solving. It's literally your shield against being misled by bad data out there in the real world. So I'm going to leave you with a bit of a challenge. When you're looking at the statistics in tomorrow's news headlines or watching your favorite sports broadcast, how will you use these tools to interpret that data? Ask yourself, are they showing me the mean, the median, or the mode? Because now you know exactly how to tell the difference. Thanks for hanging out with me on this explainer, and definitely keep looking for the math in your everyday life.